Have you ever wanted to make sausage or bratwurst but thought the process was a little too complicated? Well, I'm gonna keep this recipe super simple. We're gonna be making a mac and cheese bratwurst. Stay tuned. Alright, so for these mac and cheese bratwurst, I'm going to be using a sausage kit from PS Seasoning. And guys and gals, I got to tell you, this does not get any easier. You get everything you need right inside the box. The only thing that you're going to need is 10 pounds of beef or pork or a mixture, maybe some wild game, etc. And everything comes in this kit. So you get your sausage casing. Now this will make 20 to 25 pounds, so you will have some extra casings. You do get your package of noodles, and you also get your seasoning kit. All right, so the very first thing that I did is I put the casings in warm water and I added 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Now, what the baking soda does is it makes these casings really nice and slick. So the baking soda is just gonna make it a lot easier to work with these casings, especially when you're loading and stuffing them with the meat. All right, so the next step is I'm gonna boil these noodles al dente, which means not all the way through, probably 75% cooked, because I don't want them to turn to mush. All right, so I'm starting with a 10-pound bone-in pork shoulder. Remember that this recipe does call for 10 pounds of meat. Since this does have the bone, that bone weighs about 3/4 pound to a pound. So in this case, you can add a pound of bacon. If you have another pork butt, you can just grab a pound off of that, and that's what I'm gonna do. Now you can also buy boneless pork shoulders, which makes it a lot easier, and you don't need to trim off any fat. These pork butts are naturally 70-30, meaning 70% meat, 30% fat. So I'm just going to cut these down into cubes, small enough to fit down the throat of my grinder. And that's usually about this size right here. Now one thing to remember is to keep your meat as cold as possible. I did toss this pork butt in my freezer, so it's super cold. So I'm going to finish cutting up this pork butt, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, this next step, we need to grind our pork. Now it is recommended that you grind the pork twice, or your meat twice. The first time with a 3/8 or a 10mm plate, and the second time with a 1/8 plate or a 4.5mm die. Now I'm just gonna grind this once with my 4.5mm die. So grinding the meat twice, you're gonna get more of an emulsified sausage with a little bit of texture. Grinding it once, I'm gonna get a bunch more texture doing it this way. And that's just the way I like it. Now one thing I would highly recommend is to invest in a really good grinder like the one that I'm using here, but the most important thing is invest in a foot pedal to operate your grinder. So the reason that I recommend a foot pedal is so your grinder is not consistently running, because all these components on the inside of this grinder head will get really hot and that'll start to smear your meat. This way I'm in full control of when this grinder is on. All right, so I've got some meat down the throat of my grinder. I'm just gonna step on my foot pedal here. And again, if I want to stop the grinder, I just release my foot off the pedal. So another thing that I recommend is that you're still going to have some meat that's not ground inside of the head of a grinder. So I like to grab a handful of the ground pork, put that down the throat of your grinder, and you want to grab a couple handfuls. And what this is going to do is it's going to force that unground meat through the die. Here we go. All right, so this next step is I want to add the seasoning packet to my ground meat. So I'm only dealing with 10 pounds, so I'm going to go ahead and mix this by hand. Anything more, I would bust out my mixer, make it a lot easier. But again, we're working with 10 pounds. So give this a really good mix. I'm also gonna add 10% of the weight of the meat, which was 10 pounds. So I'm gonna add 16 ounces of water. So what we're looking for is this meat to get really nice and tacky. Now remember, we still have the noodles, but we don't want to add the noodles until the end. That way we don't break them up. So next, I'm going to add our noodles that I drained and rinsed off in cold water. Lightly mix our noodles into our meat here. All right, so I'm going to throw this in my fridge for about 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to set up my stuffer. Stay tuned. All right, so next I got my canister for my sausage stuffer, and I'm just going to load our brat mix into our canister. Now when you're loading your meat into your canister, make sure you pack that meat in there really nice and tight to avoid any air pockets. All right, so next we need to load up our casing. So I'm just going to grab one of these casings and find the end. So here's the end of my casing. Stick a couple of fingers in there and dip it in that water. And what this is going to do is it's going to flush out our casings. Remember that these are stored in salt. So there might be a little bit of salt in the casing. It's going to flush it out. Plus it just makes it a lot easier to load. See this water right here? So now I'm just going to lift it and it's going to flush out that casing. Just like that. So next step is load our casing into the horn. Remember that we did add a little bit of baking soda. That makes it a lot easier to load onto your horn. All right, there's one casing. I'm going to load about 4 of these casings. Now you can also get longer casings from PS Seasoning. Make sure you check them out at the link below or check them out at psseasoning.com and use Smokin Joe at checkout for a nice discount. All right, so now I'm just going to grab my casing and tie a simple overhand knot at the end. Really nice and tight, just like that. And start stuffing. Here we go. Now all I'm doing is putting a little bit of pressure with my left hand and guiding the sausage with my right hand, just like this. Real simple. You want a little bit of pressure on your casing that's on the horn. That way you eliminate a lot of air pockets. So don't worry too much if the casing's loose. We can fix that when we twist up these links. All right, so we came to the end of the casing. So all I'm going to do is take out some of this meat. So all I'm doing at this point is tying another overhand knot. Just like that. Grab your next casing, tie a knot. Just like that. And start stuffing once again. So I'm going to get the rest of these casings stuffed and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so next step is if we do have some air pockets, I'll show you guys how I take them off. Let me see if I can find some because I purposely put some air in one of these. Here it is right here. So we've got an air pocket, pretty good size air pocket. So they do make these sausage prickers. All you got to do is tap on that casing and the air will come out just like that. All right, so the next step is we have to link our brats, okay? So I've got my tray marked at 7 inches on this tray. I'm just gonna lay the bratwurst at the 7-inch mark, pinch right here, and I'm gonna twist this very first link. So I'm just gonna twist this link until this casing is nice and tight on my brat. So as you can see, this still needs a little bit more. I'm pressing it and it's still a little soft. So I'm just gonna twist until that casing is nice and hard, just like that. So next step, measure 7 inches. I'm not going to twist this one, but I'm going to measure another 7 inches and twist this link right here. So doing this is not only going to tighten the casing on the link that I'm working on, but also on the ones next to it. In this case, I'm at the end of my rope right here, so it's going to tighten the casing on all 3 links. Here we go. See that? Now my casing is nice and tight on all 3 links. All right, so I'm just going to link up the rest of these brats, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so at this point, these brats are ready for the grill. All I gotta do is cut them right in between the casing, separate them, and grill them up. Now, I do wanna show you guys a quick pro tip. So I do have some casings left over. All I gotta do is drain out the water that they were in and add plenty of salt into the casing. So again, all you gotta do is add quite a bit of salt, give them a good mix, just like this, and place them back in the package that they came in. Real simple. Just like that. Pop them in the fridge, and these will be ready for your next sausage batch. I think I said sausage batch of sausage. You guys know what I'm saying. So all I'm going to do again is cut these links right in between the casing, just like that. Now, if you have an end like this right here, you want to cut really close to that knot, just like that. All right, so let's cook up these brats. I've got my induction burner here. I'm going to turn this on a medium-high temperature. Add a couple cans or a couple of bottles of your favorite beer. Now you don't have to use beer, you can use plain water, but the beer gives these brats such an amazing flavor. All right, so the beer is just starting to boil, so I'm gonna add a handful of these brats. Look at that. All right, so at this point, I'm just gonna boil these brats for about 5 minutes. What I'm looking for is a nice white color on these bratwursts. That usually takes about 5-6 minutes, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so the brats have been boiling for 5 minutes. Just gonna pull them off. Look at that. That's that color you wanna see. Nice, beautiful white color. So when I was 13 years old, I spent an entire summer in Frankfurt, Germany, and this is the way they would serve their bratwurst. So at this point, I'm just gonna take these out to my grill them a couple minutes on each side, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so the brats are ready, and again, I only cooked them for a couple of minutes on each side, and look at that beautiful color. The aroma in my kitchen right now is insane, and you know what? It does smell like mac and cheese. I mean, look at the size of these brats. Some of these bad boys are insane. These are some really big brats. So let's cut one up and see what it looks like on the inside. Oh yes, look at that. Absolutely perfect, really nice and juicy. You got the noodles in there. Oh man, I can't wait to give these a try. So I'm gonna be trying the sausage by itself. Man, these casings are really nice and soft. These are not gonna be tough whatsoever. Now I'm also gonna make me a brat on one of these pretzel buns. I'm gonna throw it on there just like that. Little spicy brown mustard, just like that. All right, let's give these a try. All right, let's give these mac and cheese brats a try. And I gotta tell you, that casing is really nice and thin. This is gonna be amazing, and I haven't even tried it. Here we go. So one of the benefits of boiling your brats before you grill it is that casing becomes extremely bite through. This is really good. So this brat by itself has a really good cheesy flavor. I wouldn't add any more cheese to this, but I would add maybe some jalapenos, maybe some bacon. That would take these brats over the top. All right, let's give these mac and cheese brats a try on this pretzel bun with spicy brown mustard. Here we go. Man, I am loving this combination. That soft pretzel bun, that spicy brown mustard, that warm, freshly grilled mac and cheese brat. This is delicious. I hope you guys found that these sausage kits from PS Seasoning make sausage making super easy. Everything is included in the box. I think my next one is gonna be this maple blueberry breakfast links. Again, check out PS Seasoning at the link below, or go to psseasoning.com and use Smokin Joe at checkout for a nice discount. I hope you guys enjoyed this mac and cheese brat video. If this is your first time to my channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Until next time, Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit BBQ. See ya.